Hey everybody, Aaron Cowan, Sage Dynamics. In this video, we're going to talk about the Bootleg Free Float Picmod rail system. After my video on the primary weapon systems Mark 114 Mod 2 came out, actually it was just on the Mod 2 system I used the Mark 114 for the video. Had some people ask me about the rail, because that rail is Picmod. Picmod comes from Bootleg. It's their rail. Now, Bootleg is the sister company to PWS, so it only made sense for PWS to use that Picmod rail system on the Mark II rifle, their new Mod 2, or I should say the Mod 2 of the Mark 1, sorry. Their third generation of rifle system. It comes with the Picmod rail, which is from Bootleg. And what's so great about the Picmod rail? Because I sung its praises in that video, and people were asking me, you know, what's the big deal? Well, I wanted to do a video specifically on that rail system to tell you what's really cool about the Picmod rail system and why you might want to consider getting one. Now, I take product recommendations very, very seriously, even from people who sponsor me. I don't choose a sponsor. I don't enter into a sponsorship relationship unless it's a quality product and it's something I actually believe in. Because you can't sell your integrity more than once, and I'm not willing to sell it even once. The Picmod rail is, I don't want to use the word revolutionary because that word just seems to be beat to death, but it is very unique, and it's the first rail of its type on the market. It uses, or it actually, I should say, it gives you Keymod interface and Picatinny at the same time, especially where the Picatinny is on the end of the rail, as you're seeing now. I have Picatinny towards the end of the rifle, and I have Keymod everywhere, even to include those Picatinny sections on the 3, 6, and 9. If I choose not to use the Picatinny interface, I can still put Keymod accessories up there, which is pretty damn cool. You see some rails on the market that give you solid hardpoint Picatinny sections, but those sections are just Picatinny. If you don't have a Picatinny accessory, you can't put anything on there. With the Bootleg rail, if you have Keymod and you don't want to use that section, as I just said, you can go ahead and put something up there, which is something you can't do right now with any other rail system on the market. Two questions I get about the rail all the time. First question is, why is the Picatinny only up front? The answer to that is, just looking at, they basically polled a bunch of different professional shooters and a bunch of different people who use rifles professionally or use rifles for sport, so on and so forth, those in the military, law enforcement, competitive shooting. And what they found was people who are hard mounting accessories to their rifle, the accessories on the 3, 6, and 9 anyway, especially those that default to Picatinny mounting systems, which we'll get to, they tend to put them closer to the muzzles than further away. If you think about your lights and your lasers and your heat protection and everything like that, they tend to go further forward than further back. So it made sense from a machining standpoint to only bring the Picatinny so far back on the rail system. The advantage to that is, and this answers the second question, is why would I get a Picmod rail when I already have a Keymod rail, or I already have a full Picatinny rail? Well, if you have a full Picatinny rail, then obviously you're not really concerned with this. But if you don't like Picatinny, or you want to save weight and get away from Picatinny, or if you like Keymod, because I'm a big Keymod fan, this gives you the option to still maintain mounting interfaces with your Keymod accessories, such as my rail scales here, but this Surefire Scout Light defaults. It comes with a Picatinny mounting system. So by the nature of my IR laser, I'm forced to mount this light on the side, or most Scout Lights are going to mount to the side anyway. I don't see a whole lot of people running Scout Lights up here. If I wanted to put this on a traditional Keymod rail, I would have to buy an adapter. And that adapter may take up more rail space than I want it to, or it may force me to interface with a part of the rifle where I already have something. There's a couple mounts for the Scout Light specifically that are still Picatinny. They just put it off to the side, so it would have to mount to the top anyway, or it'd have to mount to the side and push the light up higher than I'd want it to. With the Picmod rail, no big deal. I just put it right there. If I were to remove this light and want to put a Keymod accessory there, I can do that too. And that is the beauty of Picmod, is it gives me Picatinny where I need it, because the majority of your accessories on the market are going to default to a Picatinny interface. Now, the Bootleg rail is available in 3 lengths. It's available in 9, 13, and 15 inches, which is 7 ounces, 8.6 ounces, and 9.6 ounces respectively. It interfaces with the BCM KMR mounting system. They licensed that from BCM, because why reinvent the wheel when somebody else already makes a great rail interface to barrel system? As far as weight goes, you're not going to notice it. There's heavier rails on the market that do less for you. There's lighter rails on the market that do less for you. So if you want the versatility, if you're already a Keymod guy and you want to be more versatile in your mounting solutions, then a Picmod is a really, really good choice. I hate to overuse a word, especially when talking about one topic, but versatility is the name of the game when it comes to the Picmod rail. Bootleg really kind of knocked it out of the park when they designed that interface system, because it's like, why didn't I think of this? I'm upset that I didn't think of it. I remember having ideas in the past, and other people have made attempts. Like a lot of your older, when we started to get away from Picatinny, we went to modular. Like every company had their own proprietary modular rail, which you would bolt pick sections where you needed them, and you'd leave the rest of the rail slick, and that was cool. And then you had people came up with Keymod, but they'd put hard point Picatinny up front, which was also cool, except for you could only use Picatinny up there, which was unfortunate. Because there's some rifles that I have with the Picmod rails on where I don't run Picatinny accessories up front. I have Keymod accessories up there, and then vice versa. There's some rails where I need that Picatinny sections, and I'm glad they're there. So versatility is definitely the name of the game when it comes to the Picmod rail, and I think you'll find just with Bootleg themselves, your warranty is going to be awesome, and you have 3 really good lengths to choose from. They didn't go crazy with a bunch of different lengths. They give you your 3 more or less standard ranks. So for me, I like 10-inch, 11-inch guns. That 9-inch rail really gives me a lot, because I like the longest handguard possible because it gives me more grip options and accessory options. So if I'm running a 10-inch gun, I want a 9-inch rail, 9.5-inch rail. I want the longest rail I can get respective to the barrel length. So for 13-inch, if you're running a 12-inch gun, if you're running a 14.5 pen, that 15-inch rail is going to fit that sweet spot really, really nice. It's going to give you a really good, clean interface system, and it's going to take it all the way up to the end, which is what you want. Of course, Bootleg doesn't just make rails. They also make upper receivers. Again, it's a sister company, PWS, so the same stripped upper receiver, so I should say the same upper receiver that you see on the Mod 2 rifle from PWS is same stripped upper receiver that you can get from Bootleg if you're building your own rifle. And of course, they have the 4-position adjustable bolt carrier group, which gives you 2 suppressed and 2 unsuppressed settings to allow you to manage gas at the bolt carrier group versus the gas block for shooting suppressed. And hopefully that addresses the whys of the Picmod rail. And if anybody asks questions about Picmod, you can of course refer them to this video. If you have any other questions about the Picmod rail system, because I now have 3 rifles that have it in different configurations, if you're having any issues, or if you're kind of on the fence and wondering like, hey, what about this specific situation or this specific rifle use, you can go ahead and drop them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them, or I'll defer you to someone who knows a lot more about this stuff than I do, as far as the rail construction, those people there at Bootleg. I'm Aaron Cowan with Sage Dynamics. Train accordingly.